Hi, welcome to A Bit Beyond the Basics of Immigration, a special series about humanitarian benefits, a variety of benefits in the United States law that seek to take care of individuals who fall between the cracks in the general rules of the immigration law. I've already talked about a couple of other benefits. You can go back and watch those videos if you want, but if not, that's fine. You can jump in today. Another video that might be useful is to watch back in the basics of immigration, the segment on non-immigrant visas, because today we're going to talk about a specific non-immigrant visa. All right, let's go. Today we're going to talk about what is called the U visa. The fact that it's a letter tells us that it's probably a non-immigrant visa, because the non-immigrant visas are the ones that are ABC all the way through V, if you remember that segment from earlier. So this is a non-immigrant visa, someone coming to the United States for a specific time, for a specific purpose. This one's a little bit unique, and so I'm going to explain how it works. We have a non-immigrant here. They are in the United States. They may have come lawfully, they may have come unlawfully, it doesn't matter, but they are in the US. And at some point while in the United States or in United States territory or control, like it could be a military base, for example, but somewhere where they are controlled by US law, they become the victim of a crime. A crime happens to them. Now, this is where it gets really important. After a crime is committed that harms them or potentially a family member, they then cooperate with law enforcement or the court to investigate the crime, to prosecute the crime, or something else to make sure that this crime gets punished, is the general idea. There are lots of little pieces of this, but that's the general concept. Now, why does this visa even exist? Let's take a step back for a second and look at the reality of what happens. Often you have someone who is a non-citizen in the United States. Again, whether they're here lawfully or even lawfully, they aren't a citizen. And so when a crime happens against them, they are often scared to go to the police. And so they become a very vulnerable population that doesn't report blackmailing, domestic violence, robbery, kidnapping, a variety of crimes. They may not feel comfortable going and reporting that. So Congress created this visa saying, we want to help law enforcement, to help reduce crime in our country. We need to protect and incentivize this group to help this group. It's super important. So that's why the visa was created. Okay, so they're in the United States, they're a victim of a crime, they then assist over here. Now here's something important. They must get a certificate. The non-citizen has to get a certificate either from the court, I'm going to actually have it coming from them, from the court or from a law enforcement official who has authority that says, yes, they did help us. They are willing to continue to help us. So the criminal justice system over here provides a certificate to say that they have helped and they are helpful. This individual then takes that certificate and files their application for a visa. So they apply for a visa with this certificate and a variety of other things to show that they've suffered harm, they've been in the United States, all these things that are back over here. If the visa is granted, they receive a visa for 4 years. Let's put it right there. For 4 years. They're permitted to stay in the United States for 4 years with this visa. At the end of that 4 years, they may choose to apply for adjustment of status. And if that's granted, they become an LPR and eventually they can naturalize if they choose to. It's not a guarantee like everybody else. If they have criminal issues or immigration issues or other things, this whole path is not guaranteed, but it does create a path where potentially they could become a citizen. But initially what they're getting is the U visa, which is good for 4 years. Okay, if you have any questions about that, feel free to let me know. I think that's good for today. We will talk a little bit about this in a future series, but for today, that's the basic concept of a U visa.